Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Alright guys, what's going on? It is Tuesday, October the 30th, 2018, 9:43 p.m. By the time you hear this, it is already Wednesday. Welcome back, and it feels like with this new schedule that I put out for the show, where it's just the show comes out every Wednesday, it feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's been, I'm already flubbing at my words, it just feels like I've been gone for a while. Because, before I tried to do the whole schedule thing, and then I just said, I'm just going to record whenever the fuck I want. And that kind of didn't really work out. This whole schedule thing, it helps. Maybe after I'm done with school, I might go to a different schedule or whatever. But for now, the schedule is going to stay the way it is. It's really helpful. It helps me keep track of time. It lets me know when I can get shit done at what time. Basically every Tuesday after school, because Tuesdays and Thursdays I go to school all day. Get out after 7, so Tuesdays I can just come home and start recording and then do whatever it is I was going to do after that. So yeah, every Wednesday you will hear a show, just like it says in the bio. And also, I always say this, if you have any questions or comments, requests, or if you just want to say hey, follow me on Twitter and leave any comments for the show. I'll make sure to read them on the air if you want me to read them on the air. And also just leave a review, if you please, on whatever podcast platform you use, whether it be iTunes or Spreaker or Stitcher or Podbean. Whatever it is you use, please go out of your way to leave a nice little review and a rating. So yeah, what happened this weekend? What did happen this weekend? Oh yeah, there's that pay-per-view. I'm forgetting what it's called. Was it called Evolution. There you go. Evolution. The Evolution pay-per-view. Watched it. Didn't get a chance to watch the first match. After the pay-per-view was done, my girlfriend decided to rewatch it, and I was able to watch the first match. Overall, the pay-per-view actually did pretty good. It was okay. It wasn't as terrible as we thought it'd be. It had some pretty good matches to kind of level everything out. And of course, there was those stinkers. And, I don't know. I'm just going to get into my review of Evolution. Evolution was at fuck, what the hell was it called? I was going to say Fort Lauderdale for some reason. Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Uniondale, New York. As of now, 10,900 people to fill up the arena. It's not too bad. From what I heard, according to Don Tony, I just said Don Tony twice. According to Don Tony, the place sold out before the pay-per-view even occurred, which I don't doubt him. Don Tony usually he's pretty on top of things, so I don't argue with him ever. So anyways, to begin the card, there was a dark match for the NXT UK Women's Championship between Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai. Rhea Ripley won. I'm surprised they had a dark match for this. I would assume they would give all the ladies a chance to wrestle. And also because Rhea Ripley just won. She was just in the finals, I believe. Was she in the finals? No. No. Fuck, I don't know why. I have the list right in front of me. She was in the Mae Young tournament, and then she just won the UK Women's Championship. So, I don't know, I'm surprised this match was on the card. She won. I like Rhea Ripley. I like her look. She's pretty easy to look at. She's nice to look at. Also, she got her start here in San Antonio, so those are those are brownie points for me. Dakota Kai, I can't really begin to tell you anything about because I don't know too much about her. I don't watch everything about WWE. I don't always watch NXT. I mean, I obviously will watch TakeOver, but I don't watch all the NXT shows. I don't really watch, the Mae Young tournament and all that. So, I mean, I should. I feel bad for not watching it, but I'll make an effort to watch more of the shit. It's just that there's so much of it, especially NXT women. I mean, the NXT UK. From what I heard, it's actually pretty good, and the crowds are fucking like white hot for it. The first match on the main card, Trish Stratus and Lita defeating Mickie James and Alicia Fox with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was supposed to be in there, and she apparently had an injury over the weekend, which kept her out of the match. I'm not sure what the injury was. Didn't say what her injury is. I heard it was like a concussion or something. But yeah, it was supposed to be Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, and Alexa Bliss got hurt, and then they made it a tag match as Trish and Lita versus Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, and then Alexa Bliss got hurt again, so they replaced her with Alicia Fox. So basically, Mickie James had to pretty much carry the whole match, and she did fucking good. I mean, Mickie James can still go out there and have a good match. Trish went out there and had a pretty good match. Lita, I've never been a Lita fan. I've always been a Trish fan. Lita had an okay match. She kind of flubbed a few spots out there, but again, she hasn't wrestled in like 12 years, I believe. I mean, yeah, she was at the Women's Royal Rumble, but that wasn't really a match. Like, as far as like an actual like wrestling match, she hasn't wrestled in a while, so again, I'm not gonna hold that against her. Okay match. It did its job. The crowd lit up when it saw Trish and Mickie James share the ring, because that rivalry with Mickie James and Trish back in what was it, 2006? It was freaking good. I mean, that's obviously that's what put Mickie over. That's how Mickie was brought into the equation. She was brought in as a stalker for Trish Stratus, which turned into some weird lesbian thing, where I guess it was like single white female, where she wanted to be just like her, and they had that match at Mania where she grabbed Trish by the pussy and she did the whole, I guess the hand sign. You guys can't see my hand, but it kind of looked like the sign that Vader made with his hand, except Mickie did it in a different way. So, which would not work today at all. It would never fly today, like at all. So those two still have great chemistry in the ring. As far as Trish and Lita goes, there's talk that they might be sticking around a little bit more, which I think would be interesting. And also being with Roman Reigns, being out. I mean, I know it's the women's division, but the show still needs stars, and it wouldn't hurt for Trish and Lita to stick around for a bit and help out the young girls. And I think, from the way it looks, they might be sticking around for maybe a Survivor Series type match. Have Team Trish versus Team Alexa, or whatever you want to call it. That'd be pretty good for business. I was interested in seeing Trish versus Alexa, because when you look at them, they're almost kind of like mirror images of each other. Granted, Trish was a better wrestler. Alexa, as much as I love her, she's not a good wrestler. The story behind Trish is that when she was brought in, she was basically just, someone to oogle at. And she wanted to be more than just, a piece of meat. So she actually, asked Fit Finlay to train her, and she became a better wrestler for it. So big ups to her. I would hope Alexa Bliss does the same thing, that she actually wants to just be a wrestler rather than just a piece of meat. So, I don't know. I would hope she does that. But, then again, what do I know? The match was 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Next match, 20 women battle royal to see who would be a number one contender for a women's championship match. Nia Jax won. which I didn't see that coming. I believe on last week's show, I predicted that I wanted Asuka to win. Either Asuka or Ember Moon. I didn't see Nia, winning. I'm not to be a dick. I'm just assuming she won because of Roman Reigns. That's pretty much my only opinion, because she's pretty much done dick up until this point, and then they have her win this Battle Royal at this big event. So, again, it's not me trying to be a dick. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she's back in the equation. And it was, kind of an interesting moment to see. It was a good moment to see her hug Rock's mom after the match. And I thought it was kind of funny how they're introducing the Rock's mom, and on the bottom of everything they put Mother of the Rock, or Rock's mom, which is like, so is that the only thing I'm known for? Yeah, this Battle Royal was meh. The only thing I loved about the match was that the Iconics got eliminated, because I don't like the Iconics. I hate them. I call them boner killers because, they're very pretty, they're very hot, but once they open their mouths, it's just like, ugh, please stop talking. Just please. I'm looking at the order of elimination. They were literally the first two to get eliminated because they came out and cut their whole, Peyton, knock knock, who's there? It's the Iconics, that's who. And it's like, oh my god, please. And I understand that probably was an Australian accent. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at accents. But I don't like them. When they open their mouths, I just want to cringe and just die. I die inside when they talk. Order elimination, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Molly Holly, who was just there for a cup of coffee, which, again, she's not... This isn't 15 years ago, so she doesn't want to go out there and bust her ass for the 7 match, which I don't blame her. Kelly, who, I'm not gonna lie, she looks pretty good. Tori Wilson, looking extra good. Sonya Deville was eliminated by Mandy Rose, who, for almost like a tenth of a second, I thought Mandy Rose was gonna win, which I thought would have been really interesting. Because the way they're building her, they're kind of giving her that... I don't know, it looks like they might have been building her to be the next Alexa Bliss. Or the next Trish. Because she literally looks like Trish, Mandy Rose. I love her and anything she does. I don't care what she does from here on out. I just love her and anything she does. Melandra Blaze is eliminated. Maria Kanellis, Lana, Mandy Rose is eliminated. Dana Brooke, Michelle McCool, Naomi, Carmella, who I'm just waiting for her to get fired already. Ivory, Asuka, who that was kind of surprising. She was eliminated by Ember Moon. Tamina, who it seems like she wears the same clothes in the ring that she does to the arena. So I was like, hey, Tamina, your match is ready. Are you going to get dressed? I am dressed. Okay, then. Gotta say about Tamina, she actually went out there and beat the shit out of people. Like, she didn't just do the whole fumbling and stumbling and, like, trying to find her pockets or whatever you want to call it. She actually went out there and beat the shit out of people, so I was interested in that. And they're trying to build up this... I don't know if they're trying to make it a feud or maybe some type of future alliance with her and Nia, which I'd be interested in. I don't know. It seems like it'd be interesting. I don't know how else to put it. And then Zelina Vega looked like she was possibly going to win it. But she, basically she was out for the whole match. She pulled a Chris Jericho. She was out for the whole match. And to be honest, I kind of forgot about her until I realized, wait, did Zelina even get eliminated? Like, that's when it hit me. Like, wait, did she even get eliminated? And then she sneaks up on Nia and Ember, and she just kind of pushes them, and then she turns around thinking she won the match. And Nia just picks her little tiny ass up and throws her out of the ring. And then Nia throws out Ember, which was kind of funny because they made it to seem like Ember might have, had a chance to win it, and then they just threw her out. Like, I think it was like, was it Michael Cole being? I think Michael Cole had the line. It's only a matter of time. Oh, she's eliminated. So I don't know. I mean, good for her, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting her to win. I mean, I guess they want to give Ember more time because she has future world champion written all over. I mean, future women's champion written all over. So I guess Nia and Ronda is a pretty good match because their match at Money in the Bank was actually pretty good. It wasn't that bad until Alexa came out and just kind of shit all over it. But yeah, I mean they are capable of having a good match. I'm the way it looks from what I read earlier, they're going to wrestle at TLC in December. They already announced Ronda's next opponent is Becky. For some reason I forget Becky Lynch's last name. I keep saying Becky Bayless. Anyone who doesn't know that that's like indie talk for everybody. She was an indie girl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she actually got her start here in San Antonio because I remember seeing her at a TWA or TWE, however you want to call it. Some people call it TWE. TWA. I met her for like a millisecond, and she was actually she was actually very nice. And then she appeared on TNA as Cookie, which is a play off of Jersey Shore as Snooki. So, anyways, I keep calling her Becky Bayless for some reason. Becky Lynch. So she's going to fight Becky Lynch for Survivor Series. They're going to go with the whole champion versus champion notions, which I'm down for. Yeah, Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. I'm okay with that. I want to see that. I think this would be this is going to be Ronda's best match that she's going to have so far. She's going to have Becky that's going to make her look like $1 million, in my opinion. How will it end? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fuck finish because you don't want to make Becky look like a piece of shit. But then again, this is the WWE. Anyways, not Royal Rumble. Battle Royal was 16 minutes and 10 seconds. Next match, Mae Young Classic Tournament Final Match, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm won 10 minutes and 20 seconds. I literally know nothing about either of these two, other than the fact that I hear a lot of people talking about Io Shirai, that she's going to be the next person to take Asuka's spot as, like, you know, the head Japanese woman in the company. I remember last year, what's her name? Kairi Sane won the Mae Young Classic. So this year, Toni Storm won it, and Toni Storm, I believe, was in the semifinal matchup where I believe Kairi Sane actually beat her to get to the finals. So, I mean, yeah, she won. The match was alright. It wasn't anything amazing. It seemed like a lot of people were bored during this match. I don't know. I mean, because it's like the conversation I had with Mish not too long ago, where I was kind of talking about the Bullet Club and NJPW, which my argument with that is always, who are these people? Why should I care? It's kind of with these two. It's like, who are these two girls and why should I care? I know a little bit about Io Shirai. I don't know anything about Toni Storm. So, again, the match wasn't all that great. It was okay, but it was alright. It seemed like it was more for the internet wrestling fans, which I'm not trashing the match. It's just, certain matches are for certain people. And this seemed like a match that was more built for the, hey, did you see Kenny Omega versus Pentagon? That type of match. So, very short match. Toni Storm wins. Io Shirai's gonna obviously go to NXT next. Yeah, okay match. Next match, 6-woman tag match. Sasha Banks and Bayley and Natalya defeated the Riot Squad. 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Meh. I'm not going to spend too much on this match. Meh. I love the Riot Squad. I think they should have won, but I don't think it hurts them. I always say, anytime I see Bayley, I just can't help but be depressed because it's... You look back and it's like how long ago was this? Like 3 years ago, her and Sasha tore the house down at NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. And then they main evented the next NXT pay-per-view in an Iron Man match? And now this, and it's just and I love Bayley. I still love her. I've never been a Sasha Banks fan. Even in NXT, I wasn't really a fan. The fact that they're still trying to sell her as a face is just laughable. She needs to be a heel. She's a fucking cunt. She is a cunt outside of the ring, and even when she tries to act like a face, she is still a cunt. Bayley is kind of like the female Ricky Steamboat in a way. She kind of looks like, the everyday, girl next door. And they keep selling her like she's Butters from South Park. You can still look innocent and be a good girl and still want to beat the shit out of people. They just need to sell it the right way. Sasha Banks and Bayley just need to fuck already. And not literally fuck, but just like they need to fight already. They need to decide who the fucking heel and the face are. Which is Bayley is obviously the face. Sasha needs to be the fucking heel. They need to fucking do that already. Stop playing around with this already. And Natalya is Natalya. I love Natalya. Natalya seems like a nice girl. Or a nice woman. She seems like the type of person that would give you $10 for gas money if you didn't have any money on you. She seems like the type of girl that has pictures of her friends and their family's kids on her refrigerator. She seems like a nice lady, but I don't want her on my television anymore. Not that she can't wrestle. I think out of all the women, she's probably, top 5, best wrestlers in the rings. Obviously I think she's a better technical, women's wrestler. Maybe even better than Charlotte. But she needs to leave already. She's just not very good. Not a very... I just kind of went back on what I said. It's not that... I never said... She's a very good wrestler. She's a great wrestler. But as far as a reaction, she gets no reaction from the crowd. And, the talk is that she's been one to, step aside for a while, which whenever that is. And then the Riot Squad, I love Ruby Riott. She's a bona fide women's champion. Whenever that is, I hope it happens soon. Liv Morgan, love her. Love her look. As far as in-ring skills, she's extremely new. So, will she ever get better? Time will tell. And Sarah Logan is just not good at all. She's better as a bruiser. She's a better bruiser than she actually is a wrestler. I mean, if they ever decide to pull the trigger on this Sister Abigail, bit, which it seems like it's kind of dead, she would be the perfect candidate. She fits in with the Wyatt family, with the whole backwoods, hillbilly notion. But then again, that's just my opinion. Match was the way it was. Sasha missed some spots. Shocking. Sasha, botched a couple spots. Anyways, next match on the card, Shayna Baszler defeated Kairi Sane to win back her NXT Women's Championship. Match is 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay match. Shayna Baszler, she's extremely new. She literally burst on the scene, I think, at the beginning of the year. Kairi Sane, again, who's I'm like her. I forget who said it. She's the living embodiment of every boy's fantasy about an anime chick. She literally looks like it. I'm starting to like the whole pirate princess gimmick more and more every time I see it. We were watching it, and my girlfriend's sister pointed out, "There's no pirates in Japan," which I'm not 100% sure if there is. So somebody please correct me on that. If there's any pirates in Japan, let me know. Please. I don't like the way the match ended. At the end, towards the end of the match, there's a spot where Kairi Sane throws Shayna Baszler over the barricade where Shayna Baszler's UFC friends were sitting at attendance. And during the match, her friends start interfering and try and hit Zane. And the way the match ended was Kairi Sane was, I guess, going towards the ropes, and one of Baszler's friends kicks her in the face. Baszler goes for the submission, and she, is out. It's a total knockout. Shayna Baszler wins back the NXT Women's Championship. She becomes the first woman to be a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. Where do we go from here? I mean, the next event is going to be a takeover wherever Survivor Series is. Hold on, where is Survivor Series at this year? Well, NXT War Games, wherever the hell that is. I keep saying that. It's going to be in Los Angeles, Staples Center. So yeah, it's obviously going to be the rematch. I think Baszler's going to win it, and then what's her name? Sane's going to be brought up to the main roster. I mean, it seems like the only logical way to go. Put her on SmackDown. I think that'd be a better idea. SmackDown, I think, needs more better women on the show, because God only knows that Carmella is lighting up with her dance break routine during every fucking match. Like, can she just go away, please? Anyways, we're not talking about Carmella. Yeah, this match, it did its job. It didn't light the world on fire. Unlike the next match, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, last woman standing match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, longest match of the night, 28 minutes and 40 seconds. I need to recheck my sources. I've been seeing on Twitter the greatest women's match that WWE has ever put on television or on any pay-per-view, whether it be the main roster or NXT. I don't know. I need to watch the match again to really kind of digest it on, the greatest match, because not to say that there hasn't been too many great women's matches. I mean, we can always throw out Bayley versus Sasha Banks at TakeOver. Like in 2015, Trish versus Lita, that main event of Raw. What's another good match? Damn, there's really not many good matches. There's not a lot of good women's matches. I don't know, they might be right. This was a very good match. I was very entertained. Had a lot of great storytelling. The only thing that there was one spot in the match I didn't really like was when Becky had pretty much piled all these chairs and I guess part of a table on what's it called, on Charlotte. Charlotte rises up like a fucking zombie and just has this pissed off look on her face, and then Becky starts, she has a scared look on her face and runs away. That I didn't like, because you've been pushing Becky like this badass, dick of a heel all freaking month and a half, and then this happens, you make her look like a pussy. That's what I didn't like. What should have happened was, Charlotte gets up and she's pissed off, and then Becky just kind of looks to the ground, and then she looks back up and she's pissed off like, this fucking bitch will not fucking die. What's it gonna take to kill this bitch? That would have worked. If you had Becky be as pissed off as Charlotte, bitch, you need to die already. That would have worked for me, but instead, Becky ran away like a scared little bitch. Which I didn't care. That I didn't like. I think they need to change that. Well, they can't change it, but they shouldn't have done that. Great match, great back and forth. Charlotte ended up beating the shit out of Becky with a kendo stick. The match ended with Charlotte, I think, going for a was it a moonsault? A moonsault onto Becky onto a table outside of the ring. Becky moves and then powerbombs her through the table. Charlotte does not get up from the 10 count. She wins. The refs go check on Charlotte. Becky walks out. And the whole crowd was very pro Becky and anti Charlotte. They did not like Charlotte one bit. And I think we're way past what I've been saying. Make Becky the badass, gray line babyface. I mean, she doesn't have to be Stone Cold Becky, but just make her a badass babyface. Make her toe that line and turn Charlotte heel. Charlotte needs to be a heel. She's not a very good babyface. It's in her bloodline. She needs to be a fucking heel. She needs to be a villain. Ric Flair was always a villain. He was never a good babyface. She needs to be a fucking heel. This will not work, ever. She needs to be a heel. If there's any match I think will solidify Becky's, status in the company, it's this match. It proves that she can go out there and steal the show. She can carry a match. I mean, she has Charlotte, granted, but this match made her into a star. I mean, if I'm Vince McMahon, if I'm Triple H, I'm watching this match. I'm convinced that Becky is not only the biggest women's wrestler in the company, she might also be one of the biggest performers in the company. That's just my opinion. So yeah, not just match of the night. And it deserves a match of the year. Maybe not the match of the year, but it deserves match of the year talk. So yeah, this is the longest match of the night, 28 minutes and 40 seconds. Main event time, Ronda Rousey, Nikki Bella, Raw Women's Championship. Meh. Just meh. Yeah, Lynch and Flair should have been the main event, because this match was not very good. It's what you expected, because Nikki hasn't wrestled in a year. The last time she wrestled was I think it was WrestleMania last year. It was with John Cena when they faced Miz and Maurice. So she hasn't wrestled for a year. I think a year and a half. She hasn't wrestled at all. And her first match back was in a main event at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year against one of the biggest stars in the company for the Raw Women's Championship. Yeah, not a very good match. Nikki's passable in the ring, but she's never been a very good wrestler. She's just, I don't know. It's like when you create a wrestler on WWE 2K and you just find as many generic moves as you can. She's not very good. Her punches aren't very good. She doesn't look believable. It's like, Becky's more believable because Becky genuinely seems like she's batshit crazy and she would beat the shit out of anyone, Charlotte's more believable because she looks like she can beat the shit out of somebody. Who else? I mean, just Nikki's just not very. She's not a very believable wrestler. I'm sorry. She just looks like a model, and she got into the business because she simply wants to be a model or a TV star, a movie star, a celebrity, whatever you want to call it. Nikki Bella sucks. That's pretty much the point of this. And Ronda Rousey's not that much better. I'm sorry. I mean, she's not, again, Ronda's not terrible. And granted, she's... I'll give her credit where credit is due. She at least wanted to learn how to wrestle before she came to the WWE. The talk was that she bought a gym out in, out somewhere in Cali and trained there for a year before she came to WWE. So, I mean, big ups to her for that. But she's just, I don't know. She's not terrible. She's not on Nikki Bella status. I mean, again, Ronda Rousey looks legit. She was in UFC. For Christ's sake, she's been a champion. But first of all, they need to find her better attire, because me and my girlfriend agree her attire does not do her any favors. It seems like she spends more time trying to fix her attire than wrestle. She needs to have better attire. I don't know if that's how she dressed in UFC because I don't follow UFC, but anytime you watch during the match, I can I need to count next time, how many times she fixes her attire. She has this really small, low-cut crop top with these tiny little shorts. So, I don't. She needs she at least needs a bigger shirt that will, cover up anything she can, so that way she's not spending all this time fixing it. So I don't know. That's just me. Match ended. Ronda Rousey, beating the shit out of Brie, and then making Nikki tap, instantaneously. And then after the match, she goes up to the ramp and celebrates with all the women. After the camera stopped rolling, Becky Lynch popped out and kind of got in her face, which they showed a promo next night on Raw. Before I get to Raw, this pay-per-view, it was okay. It was a lot better than we thought it'd be. Good matches overall. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair stealing the show. Best match of the night. One of the matches of the year, obviously. This match really, really got everyone on their feet. Worst match of the night? It's tough. The 6-woman tag match was not very good. I didn't really care for it. The main event, I didn't really care for it either. The women's battle royal was meh. If I had to pick the worst match of the night, I would say it's Ronda Rousey versus Bella, the main event. It just wasn't a very good match. Rousey can only get better, as she should. I mean, I think it's kind of in her head. She kind of has she seems like she has an ego about her that, I need to get better. I know I'm the champion, but I still need to improve. I want to get better, especially now I'm representing the company as the women's champion. So, I want her to get better. It'll be interesting if she got better. It's not that she's terrible now. She's just very green. And her against Becky at Survivor Series, I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, overall, if I had to rate the pay-per-view, I would give it... I'd give it maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Personal opinion. So, yeah, going into Raw, you would think Raw would capitalize on, what's going on with the... what happened in Evolution. They didn't. They really didn't. The only women's anything that they had on the match, or they had on the card, was a 5-woman tag match. They had Trish and Lita, Natalya, Bayley, and Sasha was the Riot Squad, Alicia Fox, and Mickey. I mean, yeah, it was a fun little tag match, just to kind of get the crowd going. But that's about it. They didn't really do anything else after that, but I guess set up Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. They had a segment after the pay-per-view where Becky approached Ronda, and it was just another thing that Ronda needs to work on is her promos. I mean, I guess that's not really her shtick, because her whole shtick is I'm the baddest woman on the planet, but her promo ability is not very good. The whole promo is just her saying, champ, bye champ, hi champ, goodbye champ, good luck champ. So, as far as Raw goes, wasn't a very good Raw. Brock came out and F5 Braun, and that's about it. Elias, is now officially a full-fledged face. He had a pretty funny skit with Baron where he called Baron a bitch and set up a match between him and Jinder, which, what's his name? Fucking Elias won. Some 6-man tag match, which, why? Why is Bobby Roode in a tag team? Why isn't Bobby Roode a heel? I mean, it seems like he's happy where he's at because the guy's already 40. He should have came to WWE when he had the chance, when he was still young. I mean, then again, AJ didn't, but not everyone's AJ. Not everyone can be AJ. So, I don't know. Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. He was better off as a heel. What else happened? I guess they did the segment for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose where Seth calls Dean out. Dean didn't talk at all. So they're going to continue this until whenever the hell they feel like it. Which the talk is that they're going to wrestle at TLC. Because Seth is going to wrestle Nakamura at Survivor Series. Chamber's champion match. So I don't know how that's going to work. I guess they're either going to keep Dean off of TV for a while, or whatever the fuck. They might have him interfere at Survivor Series and screw over Seth. So I don't know how that's going to work, but that seems like they might do that. Seth is talking the whole time and calling out Dean, which I'm glad that they decided to use continuity. They didn't just have Seth come out and be like, "Why, Dean? Why'd you do this to me? Why?" He pretty much just said, I might have had it coming. Because I did turn my back on you guys, so maybe you were still pissed off about that and, decided to take your anger out on that very day. But I just find it disrespectful that, what happened to Roman, you made it all about you. Dean, appeared like he was about to talk back, and he decided to walk out. So that was pretty much it. Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. God, Leo Rush. I hate Leo Rush. He's officially on my list of people I hate, along with Baron Corbin. He's very talented, but him as an announcer, he's not good. The whole Lashley is fucking annoying as shit. It doesn't work. Bobby Lashley beat him, and it's been announced that John Cena is now replaced by Bobby Lashley at Saudi Arabia. What was it? He apparently refused to work because of the whole incident with that reporter who was killed. Anyone that doesn't know, there's a reporter that was killed, and it's been told that the Prince of Saudi Arabia, who's actually funding the event, had something to do with it. So John Cena refused to go, which he'll be fine because John Cena is untouchable. You can't do it. John Cena is now at the point where he has kind of like a fuck you status, where he's like, yeah, I don't want to do it. Fuck you. I'm walking away. So he's being replaced by Bobby Lashley. And then to end Raw, they had the Brothers of Destruction versus DX, which if this were 1998, I would care. I mean, yeah, the Prince of Saudi Arabia wants to... He wasn't a fan of the Attitude Era, so he cares about these guys, but I don't care. I love Shawn Michaels, but no, it doesn't work. So yeah, that was pretty much Raw. SmackDown I didn't get a chance to see. This is kind of segue into the next topic about Crown Jewel. Daniel Bryan apparently is refusing to go to Crown Jewel or to Saudi Arabia. So he's being replaced. They decided to have their championship match on SmackDown tonight, which AJ won, and then Samoa Joe came out and attacked them both. Therefore, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the third time will be at Crown Jewel. I mean, that works, because you still need a WWE Championship, because as far as I know, AJ wants to go. It looks like Samoa Joe wants to go, Daniel Bryan doesn't want to go, so what will they do to him? Because he doesn't have John Cena status, so they'll more than likely move him down the card. Again, I didn't get a chance to watch SmackDown, so I'm not really too sure what happened. So that's pretty much all I have at the moment. I guess we can look at the I know I talked about the show last week, but now that they've changed everything, I guess I can kind of look at the matches and see what I want to happen. Okay. Yeah, Crown Jewel is going to be this Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, so I think it's going to come on at 11 here. Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman. Braun needs to win. Braun is, he's actually here. He's the face of the company. Brock Lesnar doesn't need to win. Brock Lesnar doesn't need to be a champion anymore. He's just an attraction. He still gets a reaction when his music goes on, but after that, it's just pure boredom. So Braun needs to win. The talk is that it's going to be Braun feuding with Drew McIntyre. Which looks interesting because those two legitimately look like guys who can beat the shit out of each other. So I'm interested in seeing that. And they're going to be there. I think that might be main event in TLC, if I'm not mistaken. Degeneration X versus Brothers of Destruction. I don't care. I'm assuming Generation X will go over. The Bar versus New Day. The Bar, I guess. Again, I've seen this match 8 million times. Not that these guys don't have good chemistry, but I've seen this match. So I'm assuming the Bar will go over. So yeah, the World Cup matches. For the Raw side, Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. I think there's going to be some fuckery here. I think Dean will come out and screw over Seth. And Bobby might win. So that's just my opinion. Kurt Angle versus Dolph Ziggler. Kurt's going to win. There's no doubt about that. Is he still in ring shape? I mean, he looks like he's in good shape. But can he still go out there and wrestle? That remains to be seen. Jeff Hardy versus The Miz. I would say The Miz is going to win. That's just how I see it. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Mysterio. As far as where does that leave everything else? Bobby Lashley versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is going to win. The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. If I had to pick, I would say Miz. And that leaves Kurt Angle and The Miz in the finals. See who the best in the world is. So I would go with The Miz. The Miz, I mean, this is kind of a meaningless tournament. It doesn't really mean anything. It's the World Cup. And you have 7 guys who are white and one of them is Mexican. And pretty much all of them are in their 40s. They're either late 30s, early 40s. So yeah, Miz, give this to Miz. Let the Miz have it. I love Kurt Angle, but give this to Miz. And then you got the WWE Championship match, Samoa Joe versus AJ. AJ's going to win. I don't know how this is going to turn out. We've seen this match already. Literally, this is the 3rd time in a row because it happened at SummerSlam, it happened at the Australian pay-per-view, and now it's happening again. So, not that these two can't have a good match, but it's like we've seen this match already. So, I'm not done fucking your wife, AJ. It's like, oh my god, Joe, get over it. So yeah, that's Crown Jewel. Will I watch it? I don't know. I mean, I have an early morning available this Friday, so I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up early to watch it. Maybe that's a big maybe on my whatever you want to call it, on my schedule. So yeah, Crown Jewel looks meh, but I mean I'll try and cover it for you guys. Speaking of Crown Jewel, apparently it's been announced that Renee Young will work as a member of the announce team. This was promoted by the dildo enthusiast, Ryan Satin of the Pro Wrestling Sheet. It was originally believed that no female talent, including superstars or on-air talent, would be able to make the trip. That has changed as WWE started working in September to make this happen after Young joined the announce team. This isn't set in stone. This is obviously a PR thing. They want to be able to say, we brought women! We have a woman announcer! She's obviously going to be covered up. I don't know if she's going to wear a hijab or a hijab. I'm fucking Middle Eastern. I don't even know how to pronounce it right. Or she's going to wear one of her giant coats that she got horrendously made fun of for. I don't know how that'll work. But, hey, good for her. Cool. If Dean's going to show up, then she's more than likely going to show up. So, as far as wrestling news goes, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow's Halloween. As far as I know, I'm staying in. We'll probably just be, eating junk food and watching horror movies like we've been doing all month. Usually, I like horror movies in general. I'll watch them any time of the month, but it's October. I make an effort to watch horror movies as much as I possibly can. I think we stood up all day just watching horror movies one day. We watched that movie called The Fourth Kind, which is supposed to be about aliens. Supposedly, the whole concept of it is like, this really happened, and in each scene, they would show like they would show a scene, and they would show like the supposed videotaped recording of what really happened. And then come to find out none of this actually happened. Like, the woman that Mila Jovovich is playing is an actress. Like, they show her talking, and they show Mila Jovovich talking. And come to find out that the woman she's playing is really an actress, and all this is fake. Or it might be a government cover-up, I don't know. But none of this actually happened. So, the police department in Alaska reported that there is no case about a woman named whatever the hell her name is, or that has a missing child, or whatever you want to call it. So it's all fake. It's all ruse, kind of like that mermaid documentary. But we pretty much watched every horror film that we possibly can. What are some of y'all's favorite horror films? Man, I'm messing up more something. Speaking of horror films, look out for a yours truly on a Texas Podcast Massacre pretty soon. I'm not sure when that episode will drop in particular. From what I heard, it might drop early November. So I don't know an actual date. I was just told early November. I had a ton of fun with those dudes. When did I record them? I think I recorded them late in the month, last month, or it might have been in the beginning of this month. I'm not sure. So I know it was in the same week that I had Kevin on the show, Kevin Castle. So that was a lot of fun. We reviewed Insidious, which, one of my favorite, I think probably my favorite horror movie. It's one of my favorite movies, that's for sure. It's my go-to movie. I like it. A lot of people might deem it as silly, but I love it. We reviewed it. We had a ton of fun on that show. I was welcome back. I would love to come back. I don't know what we would review. Maybe Insidious 2, so yeah, look for that to drop pretty soon. Those guys don't need me to advertise for them, but I love those dudes. They're my Texas brethren. Texas Podcast Massacre. Make sure to look for them on Twitter under the same name. They have their own website. Listen to them wherever you listen to podcasts, like Google Play, iTunes, what have you. YouTube as well. Wrestling Soup. New live episode every Thursday on Mixlr at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time or Central Time. DTKC, they are on Mixlr every Mondays after Monday Night Raw. And also look for their Patreon pages. Patreon.com/Wrestling Soup. And then same thing for DTKC. DTKC, there's Castle Chronicles, Dark Chronicles with our friend Trez. And then you got blah 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 with Don Tony. And then also Breakfast Soup with Don Tony and her friend Mish. And then for Wrestling Soup, you have Side Salad with John and Mish, and then Global Botting with John Draper. And The Fag Show, Frank and Gus, which is a spin-off of Wrestling Soup with Joey and Mish. Again, those guys don't need me to advertise for them, but, I got love for them. And I hope they got love for me. So, yep. I don't really know if I have any other news to talk about. Actually, the movie Creed 2. I know this is kind of random. This is kind of switching topics. This is really a wrestling show tonight, but now I'm kind of switching back into movies. Yeah, Creed 2 comes out November 21st, which that's a Wednesday if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to release it the week of Thanksgiving, which makes sense. I like the first Creed. This one looks like it's going to be ham. I mean, the concept looks like it's going to be very kind of like something taken from a Rocky movie back in the day. I mean, it's going to have a better director. better storytelling, but hey, I'm gonna go see it. Michael B. Jordan has become kind of like the new it guy nowadays, and you got the storyline of Adonis Creed's son versus Drago's son, because Drago killed Creed's daddy. He killed him. Maybe not on purpose. Well, probably. If he dies, he dies. So I don't know how this movie's going to turn out. Will something happen to Rocky in the movie? Will something happen to Drago in the movie? All I know is Creed is going to have a lot on his plate against Drago's kid. So that's going to happen November 21st. I will be first in line for that. I still need to get my girlfriend to watch Rocky, the first Creed. Of all the Rocky movies, my favorite is Rocky 4, which coincidentally, with Drago. That's my favorite one out of all of them. The music I like, the fight I like, even though we all know what's going to happen, gasp, Rocky wins at the end. But that's my favorite one out of the whole Rocky series, Rocky 4. More movie news. Catherine Langford, who everyone knows played Hannah Baker in 13 Reasons Why, has been cast in Avengers 4. She is not really a lot of information to give on who she's going to play, but there's been speculation. People say she's going to play Kate Bishop, who I believe is the daughter of Hawkeye. Not sure how that's going to work out, because it's a time travel film, so maybe they meet her in the future. She might be Tony Stark and Pepper's kid, which again, not sure how that's going to work out. Gwyneth Paltrow has confirmed that she will be in Avengers 4 and that she will have her own Iron Suit. So maybe, she already had a kid, whatever you want to call it. I personally think she would be good as Spider-Woman. She has a look to her, and she's already British. I mean, she's not British; she's Australian. Fuck. But I don't know. I think she has a better look to play Spider-Woman or Kate Bishop. I don't know. So, and then Avengers 4, the trailer might drop sometime next month. I personally think it'd be better if the trailer dropped maybe after Captain Marvel, would give it that better feeling. So, but I don't know. I guess it's better because we already know what's going to happen in Captain Marvel. We already know what's going to happen at the end. It's going to set up Infinity War, or not? It's going to show you what happened at the end of Infinity War. So we're in for a treat. What other movie news do I have? What else? That's pretty much it. There's really not a lot of movie news. A lot of wrestling news, but not a lot of movie news. Happy birthday to Edge, Adam Copeland, who's 45 today. I hope I got that right. 45. Edge, who I got a shit ton of respect for. Edge. My first memories of Edge, he was in a tag match with Sable against, I believe it was against Jacqueline and Mark Miro at SummerSlam. And I've always been an Edge fan. I've always been a big Edge head. I loved him, with his whole Rob Zombie music. I personally liked that music better than his Metalingus theme. That's just an opinion. They had to give him that theme because, I guess the theme sounds more heelish. I love that theme, but I like the Rob Zombie theme a lot better. That's just my opinion. I was stoked when he became champion finally because he had been in the company for close to 10 years, and he finally got the chance to, be the top guy. And in the company, it's always been about look. With Edge, he always worked hard, worked his ass off to get to his spot, and it also helps that people like him. He gets along with everybody in the back. Sorry, my girlfriend's friend. Yeah, always been an Edge head, and I was pretty bummed out when he had to retire because of a neck injury, and that always sucks when someone has to literally give up everything they do because they have to, because of an injury like that. So, happy birthday to Edge. He's actually doing pretty good, post WWE. He has 2 kids. I believe he's on a TV show. I'm not sure what show he's on. Hold on. Oh, I think he's on the show Vikings. Come on, can this thing go any more slower? Yeah, he's on the show Vikings. It's a recurring role. I'm not sure if this is like current, but yeah, good for him. He still gets work. All right, that is pretty much everything I have for tonight. Again, as always, I'll edit this show, and you'll see it. You'll see it at midnight. And happy Halloween to those who are celebrating Halloween. Try to be safe. Stay out of trouble. Don't text and drive. Don't eat too much candy. And if somebody gives you candy corn, you throw it right back in their face. So yeah, Twitter, Drew Ari Show, Facebook, same thing. Spreaker is our home base. Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. I don't know what else to say. You'll see me here next week, same time, same place. And thank you all for listening. Thank you guys for downloading and showing some love. And also, again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to hit me up on Twitter, or Facebook. But I'm mostly on Twitter. And that's about it. Thank you for listening, and good night, and happy Halloween.